If it was my fault, I could do better. It'll be okay when he gets to school, when he's with people that know what they're doing and other children. I'm missing some intrinsic part of my parenting. If just someone could just tell me where I'm going wrong, we'll be okay. At the 18-month development check, I'd have to admit that I kind of tried to blag it. I did the inlay jigsaw, I built the tower. I did mention to the nursery nurse that he'd lost some of his first words. Taking into account everything she'd observed and what I said, she offered to make a referral for a speech and language therapy. Nah, it's all right. I'll just get my act together. We'll sort it out. He'll catch up. We agreed that she'd come and see me in 3 months and see how we feel about it then. After 3 months, she came to see us. A referral to speech and language therapy was made. From that first appointment with the speech therapist, I can remember feeling a bit irritated. Why wasn't she impressed with my son's number recognition? And why did she seem more interested in the fact that he didn't like the frog that jumped out the barrel, and he was more interested in the wand that looked like a number 8 than the bubbles that came out of it? I realise now I was in denial, but yeah, I couldn't see why that was significant at the time. Anyway, she gave some really good advice to get my son talking, which we followed until the next bit. And she also referred my son to a community paediatrician for odd and unusual behaviours and speech and language delay. The first appointment with the paediatrician was with the registrar. Autism was mentioned at this one. The second one was with the consultant paediatrician. Took more history, talked about more things, and a referral to the assessment team was made. Just before we started the assessment, we had another appointment with the paediatrician. She asked me what I felt. I was still in denial, so I said, "It'll be alright when he gets to school and he's with people who know what they're doing. When he's with children, he'll catch up." But she looked at me and she said, "Knowing everyone's car number plate is not normal behaviour for a 2-year-old. And from that moment, my outlook changed. I'm really grateful to that consultant for being so open with me. The assessment was carried out and we were told the outcome months later. Our child started therapy sessions with a teacher and a speech therapist to help with his difficulties. At those first sessions, I remember thinking, oh, okay, so this is where we're at, is it? I wasn't expecting life to be like this. I could see, though, that if we approach things differently, we could move on. We had another appointment with the paediatrician, and she said, "Become an expert in your child. You will be your child's greatest asset because you spend the most time with them, and be careful what you read." That, along with the early bird course we were referred to, set us up to become more useful parents. I'm grateful to all the professionals that took us in hand and moved us on from my place of denial. Throughout the pathway, we were always listened to and we were always treated with kindness. But what struck me and what helped me the most was the honesty in which people communicated with me. They helped me to move on to a more useful place. So if it was my fault, I could do better. I put that to one side and I started to deal with what was actually happening instead.
NICE guidance, autism spectrum disorder, in under 19s, recognition, referral and diagnosis. Discuss the developmental or behavioural concerns about a child or young person with parents or carers and the child or young person themselves if appropriate. Discuss sensitively the possible causes which may include autism, emphasising that there may be many explanations for the child's or young person's behaviour. Be aware that if parents or carers or the child or young person themselves have not suspected a developmental or behavioural condition, raising the possibility may cause distress and that it may take time for them to come to terms with the concern, or they may not share your concern. Take time to listen to parents or carers and, if appropriate, the child or young person to discuss concerns and agree actions to follow, including referral. NICE guidance, autism spectrum disorder in under 19s, support and management, family and carers. When the needs of family and carers have been identified, discuss help available locally and, taking into account their preferences, offer information, advice, training and support, especially if they need help with the personal, social or emotional care of the child and young person, including age-related needs such as self-care, relationships or sexuality. Or if they're involved in the delivery of an intervention for the child or young person in collaboration with health and social care professionals.
We all have different experiences through the multi-agency assessment before, during and after. Join our conversation to try and make sure that everyone has the most positive experience they can at this difficult time.